Hello, welcome to this online concert brought to you by the National Arts Club. I'm Paul Schwendener, and on behalf of the Music Committee, it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's concert. For those of you who may not be familiar with the club, we are a nonprofit organization dedicated to the arts. We bring over 150 programs a year to audiences now around the world, and we are delighted to have you with us. We cover all sorts of topics, from archaeology to photography to music to theater. Please check out our online calendar at nationalartsclub.org. Now, this season, as many of you know, the National Arts Club is collaborating with the Sphinx Organization. That is the National Social Justice Organization dedicated to classical music and diversity in the arts. The Sphinx Organization has 4 program areas: education and access, artist development, performing artists, and arts leadership. And these form a pipeline at every level that supports diversity in the arts in classical music world. Learn more at sphinxmusic.org. These live stream concerts have been going since September, and we have this month and next month, and I believe also in July, we'll have some new programs. So I encourage you to check the listings. They will be on 2 Thursdays each month at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, the National Arts Club is delighted to present Robert Alvarado Switala. Robert is the co-principal violist of the Sphinx Virtuosi Chamber Orchestra and the concertmaster for the Thompson Street Opera Company. He's held positions with the El Paso, Las Cruces, San Angelo, and Grant Park Symphonies orchestras, and he's a very sought-after chamber player, has attended numerous music festivals, and he has a secret passion, which he may talk about, or maybe not, and that is he is an expert at tabletop role-playing games, including Dungeons and Dragons. Robert has selected a wonderful program for you today. You will be able to see the program in the chat bar on the side of your screen. And the very first piece that he's going to be playing is the wonderful and immortal Third Suite by Johann Sebastian Bach. So I urge you to sit back, relax on this beautiful spring day, and enjoy the music. Over to you, Robert.
and welcome. Thank you for joining me and the National Arts Council and the Sphinx Organization for presenting this program for you today. My name is Robert Alvarado Switala, and I am a 28-year-old violist from Chicago, Illinois, and I am a member of the Sphinx Virtuosi, a small conductorless chamber ensemble that performs with the Sphinx Organization. What you just heard was the Bach Cello Suite No. 3 in C major, commonly adapted for viola. And it is like Paul said earlier, a titan of the repertoire and a staple in any violist's catalog. So moving on, we are going to move to a completely different sound. We chronologically in order, however, we are moving into the early 1920s with some Paul Hindemith. Hindemith wrote a solo viola sonata, Opus 25, No. 1, and it's a 5-movement work that alternates between crazy states of intense violence and almost scratch-like sounds emitting from the viola. And it is interspersed with these gorgeous lyrical movements. So here is Hindemith's Sonata for Solo Viola. Very cathartic ending after such a violent state of affairs in the previous movements. Very, very awesome piece. Next, we will be moving further in our chronological order with a suite by Quincy Porter. Oh, I am sorry. I've actually switched order of my program accidentally. Next, we will be hearing the Porter, but we will be hearing it after a song called Sonoran Storm for solo viola by Nokafula and Ngunyama. And this is actually a very, very brand new piece. This was written in 2016. And Ms. Ngunyama is a concertizing violist, a composer, has sat on various juries of various team competitions. She gets around, and she also writes incredible stuff for the solo viola. So it is a depiction. There's a little description before the piece that is a depiction of summer storms over desert landscapes and how jagged and beautiful and dangerous all of that can be when you look at a wild landscape and the natural causes of weather. So I hope you enjoy Sonoran Storm for solo viola. That was Sonoran Storm by Nokuthula and Gunyama. It has pyrotechnics everywhere, but it is quite an enjoyable piece that passes very quickly. We will have, very briefly, selections from the Quincy Porter suite for solo viola. Let me find it here very quickly. Selections from Quincy Porter was an American composer. He had a little stint in Paris where he finished his sonata in the 1930s and then came back and made some revisions to it. So I really, really like the last movement because it reminds me a little bit of Americana and that style of folk music. So here are the last two movements from Quincy Porter's solo sonata for viola alone. Thank you so much for joining me and in this foray through a bunch of really awesome viola rep from Porter to Nguanyama to Bach. Thank you so much for coming and attending, and please support the National Arts Club and the Sphinx Organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Let me go ahead and turn my camera on here. Hi, everyone. We're going to give Robert just a minute to catch his breath, and we will have a quick Q&A. If you have any questions, please ask them right there in the chat box, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. I'm also going to share a link to donate if you'd like to support today's performance. And as Paul and Robert mentioned, today's performance is presented in partnership with the Sphinx Organization. We're presenting these concerts just about every other Thursday, and you'll find a schedule on nationalartsclub.org for more Sphinx concerts and other NEC programs. We'll just give Robert another few seconds here. And once again, if you have any questions, please just ask them in their chat box, and we will try to do them. All right, Robert. All right, Robert. Thank you for that performance.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again for having me and for reaching out to the Sphinx Organization to work on the series this year. It's a lot of my friends and very specifically members of the Sphinx Virtuosi have also played on your series, and they've all loved it and all had a great time doing it. So thank you.
Yes, we've very much enjoyed the partnership. So Robert, I'm going to start with a question that everyone usually likes to have answered, and that is, can you tell us a little bit about your instrument?
Sure. My instrument, that's a very good question. It is by a maker named Jeff Phillips, who studied at the Peter Prier shop in Utah. And it is a 2009, and I have adrenaline coursing through my head right now, so I can't remember the model off of which it is based. But he does fantastic work. I'm really a fan of the back of his instruments, particularly his violas. So fantastic maker, fantastic sound. And I believe a gold medalist overall winner at the VSA, the Violin Society of America, I believe, violin making competition yearly back in 2006, 2007. I can't quite remember, or mid 2000s. So great. American maker. Yes.
It's a beautiful instrument. And speaking of instruments, if I'm not mistaken, viola is not the only instrument you play or know how to play. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. I started my career as a violinist. I started playing violin at the age of 7. And I always had access to supports and private lessons from a very, very young age. And my sister, younger sister, is also a violinist. And when we started playing together growing up, we had to play string quartets. And there was always a better violinist in our violin studio that we would get together with and then rope in a cellist and play quartets. And somebody had to play viola. So that's where I started picking up the viola at around age 11 or 12.
Okay. Well, it seemed to have worked out well.
Yes.
All right. And now we have a question from the audience from Tim. And his question is, Hindemith was famously a viola player himself. Does this mean that his viola writing is particularly successful? You clearly get a buzz from playing that piece.
That is a fantastic question. Yes, he was a violist. In fact, there are recordings you can hear of Paul Hindemith playing his own works. He was not a violist of the highest quality, but they are very useful recordings in which you can hear his ideas. And because he was not the most amazing technical violist, yes, they do fit well in your hand, and you just pick up a Hindemith work and nothing feels awkward or out of place, or it just kind of sits nicely like it already fits. So yes, it does lend itself to that. Yes. But that is becoming more of a common trait more and more, given the age of the internet and collaboration and how it's evolving. For example, the Ngunyama piece wonderfully sits in your hand, even though it is a locomotive of power that just continues on and is unrelenting. That also sits wonderfully in your hand because it was written by a string player, but also new works. I'm a member of an opera company, a storefront opera company here in town, and constantly we're working with composers and projects of that nature. And there's feedback all the time of, is this hard? Is this easy? And that is very common these days in newer works.
Thank you for that answer, and thanks, Tim, for that question. We have another question. This one is from David, and his question is, he has two questions. We'll start with this first one, and it's when and why did you get interested in classical music?
Oh, great. I had wonderful parents who knew music was supposed to be a pillar of my early education. And they didn't know, they weren't musicians themselves, and they never played. My mother very briefly played in school, in a school orchestra in the 5th and 6th grade. But other than that, we just attended concerts. We went to concerts. We went to dress rehearsals of operas, of plays, just staged art. We always went to either, rehearsals or discounted performances, and just went to a lot of things. So sound was always in my ear constantly. And I gravitated towards stringed instruments. And so that's how I got started. But it was the access to music constantly, that open access, that really fueled my early gravitation towards music.
Thanks. And then the second part of this question is, while it's great that we've had online access to concerts over the last year, how much do you feel we lose in terms of quality, in particular to the sound quality over, say, a concert hall?
Yeah, that has definitely been a challenge this year. And in fact, I was, like many musicians, I have been teaching online for the better part of the year and performing online. And when I tried to buy my equipment at the start of the year, a really good microphone and a really nice camera, sold out everywhere. You couldn't get anything delivered for months. I ended up on a microphone that helped, but really it was, again, through the access provided by funds through organizations like the Sphinx Organization. They immediately reached out to all their artists and said, who needs mics? Who needs, laptops, or who needs recording devices of any kind? And they were just, really supportive early on in the pandemic and in the quarantine, to get people the access that they needed to continue making music. So this series is kind of a direct result of that. And all the members of the Sphinx Virtuosi were immediately helped by the Sphinx Organization, because they knew through all of this that no matter what shape or form it ended up taking, the core of what we were doing wasn't going to be stopped by any form that media takes, whether online, offline. We still had to share and spread messages through music. So, but really, again, access is the main thing. So, funding for organizations like yours, like the Sphinx Organization, that is the main source of help, especially through trying times, as we have seen this whole past year.
We're glad that you had the support during that time. And then we'll move on from the pandemic. And as the world is reopening, have you had a chance to perform live, or any plans to soon?
I have not performed live since March 9th, 2020. Yeah. I've done a live stream concert. This is actually my third engagement besides teaching in the Chicago area. So I played on a series for Chautauqua Music Festival during their summer program alongside my sister, a program of duets. And I recorded in a studio setting a modern opera with the Thompson Street Opera Company. And then this has been my third gig, if you would, this live concert here. Whenever I can, I try to do things live or not pre-recorded. I try to actively engage in the moment. I find it adds a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an adrenaline rush, but in a good way, in a way that feels like we're genuinely communicating through whatever means, through a camera or through the stream, or whatever it is. you still get a tiny bit of that kick of knowing that there are people on the other end seeing it happen live, and whatever happens, happens. But no, I have not played anything in person. I am currently very excited about a large socially distanced ensemble opportunity in late June that I will be finally appearing. All the musicians will be fully vaccinated finally, and we will be putting together a chamber orchestra reduction of Mozart the Magic Flute. So that is very, very exciting, and the first live performance I will have in over a year and a half. So very much looking forward to it.
That's very exciting and something to look forward to. Well, it is just over 4 p.m. New York time. Robert, I want to thank you for today's concert. We want to also thank Sphinx. We also want to encourage everyone to check out nationalartsclub.org to learn more about other upcoming programs. Thanks again, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.